Hello and welcome to your May astrology report. One of the things that I try to do with these reports is give you a little bit of an astrological weather forecast. Well, we're 5 months into this year and I'm going to give you the weather forecast, and we're going to kind of start off with, first off, if you can hang back a little bit until after the 20th of this month, before buying that house, making that major purchase, doing any major things. One of the energies that's going on right now is the sun is in Taurus until the 20th, and then the sun enters the sign of Gemini, which is about options. But we have Mercury, which is about communications, and Mercury retrograde, many of you know, is typical screw-up time, a time when often we'll make a decision and it won't be the decision that we wish we'd made. So if you need to go forward, by all means go forward, just recognizing that there's going to be reprocessing, reconnecting, renewing. And I guess the biggest thing that I'm being faced with this month, with clients and emails and people contacting me, is an energy of fear, an energy of apprehension. So I'm just going to imagine you living in a world where your father and your grandfather and his father and his father had the same line of business, and you owned this business, and all of a sudden the government came along and said, no more, you can't have this business anymore. And they said, we're going to build new roads, we're going to do these things, we're going to tax you. Sounds a little bit like now, except most of us aren't in businesses that our grandparents were in. Well, this energy, I'm going to take you back to 1848 in New York City, when a group of world leaders came together and determined that within 20 years, if they continued with the transportation system in New York the way it was, and all over the world, not just New York, but all the major cities, that there would be animal feces 3 stories high. And so we didn't become a mechanized country, really, because we all decided we wanted to go out and buy a car and get rid of our horses and get rid of our furriers and get rid of the carriages, get rid of all that public transportation. Hundreds of thousands of people went out of a job with this. So energetically, as an astrologer, most good astrologers are historians also, and we look at what is happening that aligns with the current time. And whenever a planet goes into Capricorn, it becomes an energy of sustainability for the planet. It isn't as much about individual rights. Now, there are a lot of signs that are a lot about individual rights, and trust me, we've got a lot of planets out there right now in them, and all you have to do is turn on the news at night and you'll hear this loud and clear. But the underlying message of change on this planet has always been the outer signs, the energy of Aquarius, change, of Capricorn. You know, let's look at the structure, and is this sustainable? Can this structure last? And the energy of Pisces, let's try to dream something new. And that is energetically where we are. Then once we get this vision, generally planets move forward into the energy of Aries and we get going with it. We've got something a little bit different going on this year. You're going to see for the first time in your life the energy of Uranus, which is about change, entering the sign of Aries. It hasn't been there for 84 years, but this planet will then go backwards into Pisces. So this energy of change with Jupiter, which is supersizing, are now together. We begin this month with both of these planets riding shotgun together in Pisces. The beauty to Pisces is I imagine a dream. I imagine falling in love. I imagine winning the lotto. I imagine these things. The negative of Pisces is I imagine losing my job. I imagine getting old. I imagine getting sick, whatever. So the best advice that I'm going to be able to give you for the next year is be careful what you wish for. Really recognize that we are in a powerful time of change, and it's like we have an ability to create right now that we don't usually have. So until the 15th of this month, we're still in that energy of Mars, the planet of action, which last October went into the sign of Leo. Now this planet stays a month and a half in a sign. Guess what? It's not even back to where it began its retrograde pattern until the 15th of May. So many, many months this planet of action has been in the sign of heart energy, of Leo. But that's this fiery stuff you're hearing on TV. Mars is how we show our anger. And in your chart, it tells me a great deal about how you either energize anger or you don't. Well, in the sky, we're all dealing with this fiery, passionate stuff. So the energy until the 20th of this month says pull in, take that passion, take that heart fire, really try to connect inward, recognizing that no matter what we do, change is here. It is going to be here, or we're going to be like New York City in the 1800s. You know, it's going to be more than 3 stories high. So we have to make some of these changes. And this month is kind of the breathing in energy, allowing us to make these changes. We begin a new year astrologically when the sun enters Aries. And this is kind of the I am, I'm here, what do I do with it? The energy of Taurus is I'm here, and what do I have? What do I have to work with? What are my values? What is really important to me? So we get 30 days of this a year of energetically pulling within. And the universe has given us this Mercury retrograde in Taurus also. For those who want to get going with something and it's not going as fast as they want, be it a job or relationship or whatever, recognize that a lot of these things we're in for the long haul. It isn't just slam bam, thank you ma'am, you know, I've got to have it right now. And that does tend to be a little bit the European way. I won't even say the American way, but the European way. So slowing down this month, really reconnecting with source, reconfiguring yourself.